good news, bad news story. The good news is I have no legislative experience whatsoever. The bad news is I have no legislative experience. But I have my teleprompter here. But what I do have is business experience and financial analysis experience, and that's what I plan to bring to Topeka. What all Republicans are going to have to do for the state of Kansas is we need to make Kansas a business-friendly state. Small businesses need to know that. Small businesses need to know that Kansas is open for business. And it's going to happen at this local level, the state level, and the federal level. Once small businesses know that it's safe to hire again, we'll start hiring. We're not going to take any risk in this environment because we do not know what the future holds. There's too many regulations. Even in the health care bill, there's 1,000 regulations that are going to be written for small businesses. So as a small business owner, I'm not taking any risk. I'm not hiring any employee until I know what the future is. Once I can coexist with government, I'll start hiring again. Once I know the rules, I'll play by them. But if I don't know the rules, I'm not going to hire, and we're going to stay stuck in this quagmire until small businesses get going again. You have to remember that as a small business owner, every time we take a risk to hire an employee, if we're successful, we only get 50% of the benefit. We have to give 50% up to state and federal tax. If we're a failure, we take 100% of the risk. So we're not taking any risk until we know what the future is, and it's really about that simple. You know, there's a lot of hard stuff that we're going to have to address in the Kansas legislature, and I'm just going to go down these 4 points really quick. The school financing formula, obviously we need to change it in a very basic way. Johnson County tax money needs to stay in Johnson County. We need to get the attorneys out of the equation. And with those 2 points, then we'll set the stage to negotiate with the rest of Kansas. But all 3 of those points have to be in place before we can fix this thing. Medicaid. Medicaid is the second largest expense item in the budget. And again, the health care reform bill is going to expand Medicaid by a large number. And to fix Medicaid, we have to address the payment system. And if you think about it, 20% of the Medicaid patients consume 80% of the Medicaid expense. So we need to take those 20% of the sick Medicaid patients, get them in a medical home, pay a capitated fee, and solve this thing once and for all for Kansas. The retirement fund. I doubt if there's a small business left in this room that has a defined benefit plan. It's 20 years past due. We keep kicking the can down the road. Somebody's going to have to step up and do the hard thing. We always chastise the federal government for ignoring Social Security. This pension plan that we have in Kansas, it's a death knell. It's $5 billion underfunded. And if I do my math right, I think that's the whole entire budget of the Kansas General Fund. So you can see it's an impossible financial problem, and we need to address it. Just to put it into perspective, every day that we don't fix this outdated defined benefit plan, we have to raise $137,000 to make up the shortfall. And that's with an 8% return in the market. We know that's impossible. That's an impossibility, so we need to get going on it. And then the office of the repealer that Brownback's been talking about, I think that's a sunset committee. I'd love to serve on that, because I don't have any problem whatsoever serving on the hard stuff committee. And a memo to House leadership, put me on the hardship committee stuff, because I will be glad to work at it. And I'm not going, you know, I love my day job, so if I'm not successful, I can always go back to that. Thank you very much.